just want us to first understand this one thing, that the youth we are dealing with are not the youth of our time. Dinoria tu naguo ne gwiciria ati andu aya no makure ure ithui twakurire no ithui ginya twahonoka tukahonoka biu mationoka biu matitida mahonokete muno mationokaga muno. We need to understand the world they are coming from and where we are, and understand how to connect with them. Sometimes we are trying to talk to them. The things, I have them in my house and I talk to them. My husband is a reverend in the Anglican church, but my eldest son, who is 25, is not Anglican. He's Mavuno. And every time I ask him, when the time he wanted to go to Mavuno, he told the father, Dad, mi napenda hiyo church yako. Na dad ni vizuri muna preach, lakini nyinyi mko na disconnect kubwa sana na sisi. Hizo vitu mnaongeanga na sisi tuko dunia mbili tofauti. Mujipangeni mkuje hapa karibu na penye tuko. And I realized we have a big gap of where we are coming from. And I think as a church we will need to sit and relook. Like now I've realized our students no longer want to go for camps. You know why? As tulikuwa tunajiuliza camp itakuja lini? Camp inatangazwa at we are going where? At to Alliance High School, tukalale huko for the camp. Hawa wanaulizanga, why should we go? Ubaki kwa shule kwenye tumetoka saa hii tumefunga, tumekuja home, alafu mnaturudisha huko tukalale kwa dom. Tutaenda huko. So they don't want to go for those camps. But for us, it was yearning. When are we going to close school? Tatuku hata sengine tunaenda kulala kwa vitanda. Tulikuwa tunaenda kulala kwa sawdust. Mnakumbuka? Mahali kulikuwa kunawekwa mura, alafu tunaweka minyore, tunaweka mirengeti hapo ati tunahubiri. Hebu tumahawa huko ati waende wakalale. You will have to explain. Even now that I'm saying, they've never had such things. They don't happen. So what I want to ask of us, I do not know because I also don't have an answer. But I think we need to call ourselves for a meeting and ask ourselves, who are these people that we are dealing with? This generation Z. It's called the Z generation. We need to sit and ask ourselves, who are these people that we are dealing with? So that when we come to talk to them, like now, I also have a girl who has just turned 18. And when, you know, sisi wa mama, our generation, we used to making noise. Hey, this, amukuosha vyombo sijui. These ones are like, Mommy, can you reduce your volume? We're making noise for. You know, our time, haungeambia mama yako hivyo. How? Ile vita ungenyoroshwa ni mingi. So my daughter is like, Tuliza. You know, I'm so annoyed. And she's there telling me, haya, si utulie. Mom, chill. Chill. Si vyombo ni sisi tunaosha. Yetu ilikuwa by the time una explain, vita pap imeingia. So I don't know, clergy, you will have to advise me. Because we will need to sit and ask ourselves who we are dealing with. And when we have such meetings for them, we look at what impacts. We also need to find out from them, how exactly are we supposed to be handling such meetings? They could be having a different opinion of how they would want us to handle such things. Because when we do them our way, our style, the way we did it, we might find that we are talking to ourselves. Because then they will not say no, because you said they come. But chukulisa, because we need to have an impact on all these things. We need to sit and ask ourselves. And I know we have this generation even at home. The director of Compassion International, you also have them at home. And you listen when we are talking to them. They like want to reason with you. And like us, where we never, I don't even think whether we used to think. Did we ever used to think? I don't think we were given an opportunity to think. Because it's like our parents were the gospel truth. It's like they looked at us, they communicated it's going out. Just by the eyes, we went out. By the look of the eyes, sleep. By the look of the eyes, go out. By the look of the eyes, wageni wamekuja, there is bread, go out. These ones, you don't communicate like that. Tufunge macho wakuogope. They will even ask you, hiyo macho yako ni mgonjwa? Because to them, can you tell me what you want? Can you tell me where we are? Fortunately, Or unfortunately, this was not your meeting. Let me not talk to you. But it was just food for thought. We need to ask ourselves, who are we dealing with? What are these things that they want? How is it that they need to be handled? So that when we deal with them, we know who we are talking to. I'm realizing at my age, niko na gap kubwa sana na wao as I address them. But now to you who are here today, the guy from Kajiado almost preempted me, and I almost told you, can you just shut up and sit down, because you almost wanted to do what I wanted to do today. When you started talking, I said, why should this guy come and talk what I want to speak? Because I wanted to come and speak to you on what Paul told Timothy in the book of Timothy chapter 4. And I almost told him, gentlemen, can you just, I was happy when he stopped talking, because I said, if you move to the next chapter, or if he moves next, then I will be out of context, and maybe I will not know what to come and say, or maybe I'll be forced to change what I am. 1 Timothy 4, those of you who have your Bibles, 1 Timothy 4, verse 12. Let no one despise your youth, but set the to believers an example in speech, conduct, love, faith, and in purity. I'm not a preacher. I don't want to preach. But I just want us to look at, to listen to that voice of Paul instructing Timothy that do not let anyone look down on you because you are young. Then he puts a but. When there is a but after every statement, then there is a cancel over what you are supposed to do. He's telling him, do not let anyone look down on you. But even when you don't want anyone to look down on you, you also have to do something to prove that you need not to be looked down at. So as a young person, when we look at you, when we see you living your life, we are able to interpret the kind of a person you want to be in future. Because looking at us and how we grew up, looking at you and how you grew up, interpreting who you are, and looking at the kind of a person that you are, and interpreting where you come from and where you come from. Just like the director told us, that even when we were growing up, everybody had a dream of what they wanted to become. But in our time, there were not very many careers that we knew about. We knew people became teachers, we knew people became nurses, we knew people became lawyers, and we knew it was teachers, nurses, doctors, lawyers, and police. We never knew there were other careers. I think we lived in Stone Age. It was a world of our own. But you now, you are in a world where you are being told that you can even sit in the house and earn from the table by being a content creator. Then there were no such things. And even if they were ever talked about, we could not have imagined where you are a content creator. But again today, we are talking of people who have a whole wide range of opportunities and things they can be able to do, only that they have not been tapped. So Paul is telling Timothy, do not let anyone look down on you because you are young. But in everything that you do, let you prove yourself as an example. In speech, that is number one. That is the way you talk. The way you talk should tell people that you understand what you are doing. When you are addressing your elders, when you are addressing your teachers, in your speech, the way you talk tells people so much about you. When you come and talk to me, how do you address me? Good morning, Mheshimiwa. Good morning, our woman rep. Good morning, woman rep Kiambu. Good morning, our MP. But there are people who have grown up mannerlessly that when you want to address anybody, you will address them the way you want. Sasa madhi, umekuja kwangu, you want me to support you. Then you are like, sasa madhi, mimi kwa na kusho, mimi hapa. Kuna kawera. Na sasa hii kawera kakona nguri. Sasa, you know, even the way you are talking, you've already put me off from the things you're telling me. Let me give you an example of one young man who called me last when was this? This was December. This guy called me in October. He didn't know me, I didn't know him, but he saw me being elected, and he's born in Kimende, and he is in Masai Mara University. The guy goes to my messenger and writes me this message. Good morning, Mama County. My name is, I don't want to mention his name. I come to you for help. I am a student, a second year at Masai Mara University. My prayer and my request is you listen to my story. I am a son of a single mother who has struggled to make ends for us and my 3 other siblings. I am now a second year at Masai Mara University. When I was enrolled in the university, my mother struggled to bring me to the university to a point that she fundraised. When she called for a fundraiser, we did the fundraising at home, and friends and relatives came, only for them to give us 15,000, and we had spent 18,000 to organize the event. My mother had to struggle to borrow again and get me to the university. As we speak now, I am outside the house that I am renting, not able to pay 3,000. I've not eaten since yesterday, and I am expected to do an exam tomorrow. Could you please come to my aid? And I was moved by the story. I called him and I put a message there. Give me your mother's number. So he gave me his mother's number. I tried calling the number. I could not get through to the mother. But later she called me. And she told me, I called her and I asked her, I've been trying to get to you, but auchukui simu zangu. And innocently she tells me, nilikuwa nimeenda kibarua, wale wandao wanaelewa Kikuyu. Nguthiete gutwira mundu nyeki cia kuhe ng'ombe. Tondu mundu ucio ri ni akundihaga na ndiuma na irio cia kuhe ciana. Riu koguo ingiambire guthie kuu ni kitano ya thimu yaku. So and I'm asking how much money? Then she tells me, ni andiha igana. So my children have lunch, 100 shillings. So I told her, I asked her, so and so your son? Then she said, yes. So I told this boy to give me his number. So he gave me his number, we talked. And he told me how he has suffered in the university. He's renting a house. I don't know what story. And I helped him pay the rent. I gave him food. And the rest is history. We've been working a journey together with this boy. But what am I telling you? His speech and the way he came to me. I'm not telling you to come to me. Kwa sababu watu wengine watasema, umesema tutakuja. But I'm only saying, the way he came to me, I could not have helped not to help him. I had to step in to his life. Why? Because look at even the way he's approaching me. Good morning, Mama County. And I also realized the boy is only 22. But in his speech, he is able to move mountains and speak and even to dine and eat with leaders because he knows how to speak. So in your speech as you talk to people, how do you address them? Even your mother, even your father, how do you address them when they talk to you? Do you tell them, sinilikuwa? Sinilikuwa nimekuambia. You know, si is an insult. Nilikuwa. Kikuyu wanasemaga githe. Ulikuwa wapi? You know, that alone is an insult. Your speech does not express who you are. It gives a wrong image. And the moment it is wrong, like even when you are using your social media, I always look at young people and social media and I really sympathize because I ask myself, why are they not making proper use of this gadget to change their lives? Because like me now, those of you that follow me knew that I have been a content creator all along. And now I am a politician. I'm no longer active in YouTube. But can I tell you, the few contents that I have put in YouTube, are still paid by Google. On 21st of every month, I get money in my account from Google, and I'm not active there. Last month, I only posted 2 videos in my account on YouTube. And I was paid the last month on 21st at midnight. Those of you that are in social media, that are in Google, know that Google promptly pays at midnight of 21st of every month. So you can imagine day after tomorrow at midnight, I will be paid. On 21st of last month, I no longer am active. Even if you go and check on my YouTube, I'm not very active. But they paid me 32,500. That's a whole salary for an ordinary Kenyan. 32,500. I was paid on 21st last month. Why? Because I have decided to be using my speech in the right way. There are those of you who have great talents, but delivering them has been your problem. I used to MC events. I used to MC weddings. I used to MC Ovanis. By the time I was leaving my MCing to go for politics now in 2021, I was charging 100,000 to MC a wedding. And people paid. Why? Because I continued changing my speech with the time, and I connected with the people I am talking to. So that now by the time I was leaving MCing, I was now MCing events of the who's are who's in this country. So you only grow as you grow your speech, and you learn even how to talk and who you are talking to. Unafanya kazi gani? Si nilikwambia ninasoma. That alone puts me off. I will not want to ask you any other question. Si nilikwambia. You got to have a language of speaking as a young man. If you want us not to look down on you, raise your way of talking to people. Raise your way of putting your speech, even in church. When you stand in church in front of people, how do you address the congregation? Just look at them in the eyes. Praise God. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. My name is Peter. I am born again, and I stand here to present a song, and may God bless you. Lakini wewe kuwa mtu wa kusimamanga hapa tu. By the way, sisi tumekuja hapa tunataka kuachilia ngoma. Na sisi tuko chuo, na tunataka mtu support. Yani mtu support, tutakuwa tu tuko sawa. You know, my generation which is this one here, we immediately interpret like we're in Mukora or something. Because where we come from, it is not that we are judging you, but where we come from, those are not things that are done in church. In church, we expect somebody very composed coming to us in the name of Bwana Yesu asifiwe. My name is so and so. We have just come to do this and this. You may get people to support you in the things that you are doing. And out of that, then you will be able to interpret. In your speech, you can move mountains. So when you are talking, prove yourself that you are worth. Ukikutana na wazee kwa barabara, hata wachungaji, unakuta mchungaji kama huyu kwa barabara. How do you greet him? Bari yako mchungaji. Lakini nyinyi ni zile za sasa pasi kwaje. It is okay, because they are also pastors of that generation. But when you look at these people, wherever mtu anaelewa who you are talking to, who are you addressing, and how are you supposed to address such people? In speech, prove yourself a man. When I say a man, I mean both sexes, men and women. Then Paul is telling Timothy, be an example in conduct. How do you conduct yourself when you are with people? How do you conduct yourself when you are alone? How do you conduct yourself when you are with friends? Like now schools are closed. What are your common joints? Where are you being seen? What are you talking in those joints? What are you doing? What is your conduct? And your conduct also is even your way of dressing. Even when you come to church, the way you dress is also your conduct. You tell us who you are. You are a leader of praise and worship. You are a young girl. Na unakuja na nguo mzuri mrefu kama hii yangu ya kukuja kufanya praise and worship kule mbele. Na ni mrefu tu kama hii yangu, lakini iko na mkato mwingine imetoka tu uko chini mpaka hapa. And it is very open and very clear, such that up to here you are naked, but the rest of it is very long. You were sending a message in your conduct. You were telling us you didn't even know where you were going. Because it's also in conduct that you understand this is church. How do we go to church? Like now I was told I'm coming to talk to young people. So what do I tell myself? I want to go appear a mother. So I look for what is pretty, appealing, and motherly. So nikavaa hii, ndio sasa wakisema huyo Masa yenyewe alikuwa na nguo poa. Because you ask yourself, where am I going? But if your conduct speaks so much about you. Because kama siku hizi unaona mnakuja kwa kanisa. Unaona sasa sio nyinyi, ni wale wenye wakuja huku. Unaona mtu mwenye anaenda kwa kanisa, uko na bra ingine, inafunga matiti, inasukuma, inakuja, inakaa hapa juu. Ti push up. Yani ukweli. Na ni kanisa. Alafu mchungaji anasema tukuje kwa Holy Communion. And you are that very good Anglican, that very good Presbyterian, that very good AIC. Na unakuja umenyenyekea sana. Damu imebubujika ni ya Imanueli, wakioga wenye taka usafi wa kweli, mpaka unafunga macho venye umejazwa na matiti yote iko nje. Akioga. By the time you are coming to the Holy Communion, matiti inafika mbele ya mikono. Na mchungaji ni mwanaume. What messages are you sending? In your conduct, what are you telling us? What message are you telling us? You are a praise and worship leader. Uko hapa. Wale ambao ni wa AIC, PCA, ACK, wanajua wachungaji wanakaaga this side. Na uko hapa kwa praise and worship. Na uko na kanguo ka praise and worship. Kamekatwa kutoka huko chini mpaka juu. Ni nani kama wewe Bwana? Ai, mbona hata hawa wasiona kama yeye waone kama wewe? Because in conduct you are sending the wrong signal. But you know what? There are places for those clothes. Si munaendaga party, si munaenda mabash, si you know there are those clothes for the bash. So my people, let us be those people who understand where we are going. Let's understand leo ni siku ya mazishi. It's a mourning day. People are not happy. People have lost their father. People have lost their mother. Let me not go and be the center of interest. Watu badala waende wakaangalie mwenye amekufa, ni wewe wanaangalia venye umevaa. Watu wana lose interest na maiti wa kuangalie wewe. Kwa sababu venye umevaa, you are calling attention to everybody. You are almost half naked na ni kwa mazishi. The rest of the places you can do what you want, but in conduct, just be that person who can be accepted. Like now, leo munaongea juu ya vijana, vijana to invest. Like you now, me, I have a facility that is called NGAF. NGAF, NGAAF. National Government Affirmative Action Fund, because my seat is of affirmative action. Meaning, we have also money that we give. We don't lend, we give. It's a grant. There are grants. Like if you have a group, like sasa hapa mkue mkona ka group, mumejiunga vijana about 50, na mkona ka program munafanya kwenu. You come to my office, and now I'm talking of those that are from Kiambu. Because I will not do programs in Nairobi because Esther Pasaris is there. I will not do programs in Kajiado because Sankaira is also in Kajiado. So what she has gotten is what I have gotten. So if you are from Kiambu and you are a group of people, 50 of you, and you are looking for, you want to do something, and your conduct is good, your conduct is going to lead you to my office in Kiambu. It's going to lead you in my office in Kiambu. You will come to the reception. You will find a lady there. And on that day you are dressed to kill Ile uko nayo smart yote ndio umevaa because you want to sell impression fast. Then you come and meet that lady. Number one, you are assured soldier kwa gate atakuallow uingie because even venye umevaa unakaa kuja kwa ofisi in your conduct. Then you come to the reception, you find my lady there at the reception. Then you tell her, I wanted to see Mama County, so what is your program? We have done a proposal, we need some money. And she will advise you on what to do, where to fill the forms, what to do. If I am there, they will let you to come and see me. Then we'll sit, we will talk. Then we'll be able to fund you, to give you money. And we give up to the tune of 300,000 in form of grants, not loans. Right now, I have about 90 checks for 90 groups that I'm supposed to give this January. Why? Because they organize themselves, not just young people, but even the old people. Mostly women that have big groups. They come and they apply for money. We give them 100, 200, 300. It's for affirmative action. Sasa kama munasema vijana to invest. As you also invest, let your conduct, invest also in your conduct. Because in your conduct, you can go to any office. From there, you can go to Uwezo, ask for money. From your conduct, you will also know how to invest from the Hustler Fund. If you are one who wants to invest. But again, you have to keep off the nonsense of these things. Za kuingiaga kwa simu kutukanana, kuongea trash, kutumiwa, tukana fulani. If you want to invest, start investing in your conduct. It's going to take you far. It's going to make you different. So that when you come, and when you are coming, you come now properly organized. Siku hiyo hata kama ukuagi na kakoti, enda Kambutumba. Vaa kakoti kambuzuri, vaa smart. Uchanuagi nywele upendi kuchanua. Chanua siku hiyo. Sell image. Let your conduct speak for you. It will open offices for you. Lakini vaa mangepa. Ukuje hapo kwa gate yangu. Wanaona kuona huyu mama. Sijui mnamuitaka senator ama mnamuitaka nani. Hata ujuangi. Sijui anaitwa kwa senator, sijui kama ni governor, lakini tunajua kuna masa mwingine alituongelesha huko Puea, katuambianga anakuanga na mapesa. Sasa sisi tumekuja Now, who is going to listen to you? You will not be able to go anywhere. But you can come to my office. Those of you that are from Nairobi, you will go see Pasaris. You will go in Kajiado, see, what is it? Lea, Sankai, and you'll be there, and you sell your ideas, and people will listen to you. But first invest in your contact. Then Paul is telling Timothy, be an example in love. Sio hilo love nyinyi munapendanga, hiyo inakufeel, sio hiyo. The love of God is what I am talking about. Hiyo upendo ya Mungu. Ile I have no issues with you. I just like you the way you are. Kama sasa hivi wenye mmekuja watu wenye hawana love of God, there are people you have started hating. I did not like that guy. I did not. You have a problem. Start feeling people are the way they are because God created them the way they are. If you want to be appreciated, love people the way they are. There's very little you can do about who people are. Your leader of the group may not be the kind of a person that you like, but again, he is the leader. So appreciate who they are. Give them an opportunity to serve you. Give them an opportunity to work together with you. In your schools, you may not like your teacher. You may not like your principal, but that is the people that have been placed in that position. Teach yourself to love them with the love of God so that you achieve what you want to achieve. When time comes, you just will live. Paul is also telling Timothy, be an example in faith. Can you people start building your faith? We are in a country that has a lot of noise today. And people are complaining about everything. Everything. And social media is telling every lie that is sellable. And they are using our young people. But when you are strong in faith, you are able to speak positive. And you see, when you speak positive, you live positive. Me, all my life, I kept on telling my brothers and sisters, the one that I'm born with. We are born 5 in our family. And I know when I was growing up, there are 2 ahead of me and 2 behind me. So I am 1 in the middle. And I used to tell them, the reason why I was born hapa katikati yenu, ni kwa sababu mimi sio kama nyinyi. Then wananiuliza, kwani wewe ni nani? And you know how the elder ones will act. Todo weshiragia we huko riu, titeo gitugambiria kanua. And I kept telling them, nika tuika mundu munene ni inyuothe mukanyina magerera de mundu munene muno. And they didn't believe me. But I didn't know I will become a munene of what or from where. So when I started speaking on radios, I kept telling them, siniliwambia, nyingojeni, next time I will be the big thing that you cannot imagine. So when these things that we become, they don't just happen, they start from where we speak. What are you speaking about yourself? I am born in Mathare. Mimi hata nilisomeshwa na Compassion International. Hao ndio tu walinisaidia nikapata kusoma. Hata ni hao wananipeanga unga. So sisi tutaishi tu hivyo. So maisha yetu ni ya umasikini. Hata mimi nangojea nizae watoto wasomeshwe na Compassion. Wewe ni kuku. You only need to be telling yourself, Compassion International has opened a door for me to become a great person and the first person mwenye atatoa umaskini kwetu. And you start telling yourself, I may have been provided for by Compassion or by this church or by that church, but this is not my end. Niye niguthiethite niguthie turathie ginya tokinyorea. My background does not determine my future. My father didn't even have a bicycle. Kwetu hakukuwa na gari. Chuma ile kali ilikuwa kwetu ni wheelbarrow. Na ile chuma ilikuwa kwetu kali kabisa ni wheelbarrow. Labda hiyo ndio baba yangu alikuwa amenunua. But that one has not stopped me from driving the vehicle that the men and women of this country are driving. Why? Because when you start speaking faith in yourself about yourself, you start creating a story about your life. So vijana, as you invest, don't just invest because muliambiwa kwa mkutano. Invest talking to yourself. They are saying the country is very bad. Now, when you speak to such people, ebu angalia the times you waste with negative people, with negative energy. By the time unaachana, unasikiaga uko drained. Mumeongea juu ya Ruto. Mundu uyu arorete gutunina. Mundu uyu okiria gituheni ati anga bottom up gakatia. Tugithira mundu ni atu. Riu ona ndirakiona riu tugikinya next year. Kurakirwo riu ona sukari uri magangiri. Uri magangiri mu. Una ciana ite ukihota guthoma ciana kwanza iratuika university. Iratuika mundu arire ngiri mwana matatu. Do not waste time with such people, tafadhali. If you want to live long, tigana andu acio. Kana wala watu wanakuambia shida ni leo. Kesho mimi hapo penye mnasema mimi sitakuwa. Me, I know we are going somewhere. And I want to believe we will be somewhere. Like now we've been talking about the issues of electricity. We have had blackouts 3 times this year. And people, what are people saying? Gukiri na mundu. Urare hagwo guku tuko na nduma. Nikio thitima cirahorio. Ni mundu urare hagwo mundu uriko. Who is this person that the president want to bring at tonight? And even if he wants, there are airstrips everywhere, including schools and churches, where anything can be dropped if that is the essence. But you see, from where I speak and as a leader in this country, I would only say that the government did the last mile of electricity during the other tenure of Jubilee. And everybody was asking for electricity. And the president, in very good will, did the last mile of electricity. But the problem was, hatukuongeza stima. So, stima inakuwa overloaded. Ikikuwa overloaded, vile zinafanya stima are self-controlling. So once it is overloaded and we cannot be able to handle it, then inaenda off. So the president calls the cabinet, tell me what is happening. Then he's being told this is the situation. We have assessed this is where we are. But we still have moto mingi sana in Turkana. So what do? We start creating more stations na tulete moto. So you need to talk to people who have answers. Wachana watu wa kukudrain na negative energy. Wakikwambiaga, huyu president aoneke kuhiaia ginya thitima mangai. Haya. Hiyo ndio upusi ile iko Kenya hii. If you want to grow, talk to people of faith that my tomorrow must be better than today. Kenya may be difficult, but I know I am making it. I have gone through a very tough time when I'm growing up, but I know one day. Kama sasa wewe ni kasichana kakiambu na unaangalia kwenye Ndeia, unashindwa can anything good come from Ndeia? Why not? That Ndeia that you are living in, when you are growing up, Hakuna mtu wa Ndeia angesema kwao ni Ndeia. Si ndio director wa Compassion? Kuna mtu angesema kwao ni Ndeia because the Ndeia that was then ilikuwa mpaka inaimbiwa kwa radio. Tasialeiro gwito Ndeia kanyumba ine karothiro kondo kwale la 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 la. Yani Ndeia yainagirwo thina. 1 acre of land in Ndeia used to go for 5,000. 1 acre in Ndeia used to be 5,000. Hao watu ungewaambia kuna siku shida itaisha. Ado hale naki nikikwali hera kwa ado hale naki kanyumba karo dhiro. You can imagine nyumba yaro dhiro. Ni nyumba itaangushwa na ene upepo. That is where we came from Ndeia. Today 1 acre of land in Ndeia is going for how much? 25 million Ndeia na kwenda rami and everything. So something needs to speak to you. That where you come from does not determine your future. Where you are going must be greater than where you are coming from. Today, land in Ndeia could be more expensive than land where I am married here in Kangemi. Ndeia could be more, is more expensive than Kangemi, which is in Westlands. What am I trying to say? I am saying, put your faith that it doesn't matter. Uitone Ndeia. Onadwade ya matiada adwade ya mawa kwao niko. Kwetu Kangemi, watu wetu wa Kangemi wanasema kwao ni Westlands. Watu wa Gashie wanasema kwao ni Kitusuru West. Watu wa Ndeia wanasema kwao ni wapi? Kikuyu. Kuna mahali watu watakai kusema kwao ni wapi. But you see, that is where you come from. And the moment you start saying, I am from Ndeia, but Ndeia will not dictate my future. My faith is telling me I come from Ndeia, but I will do my story from a different either country in the world or a different estate in this country that will speak volumes to our people. Faith is what is going to take you to where you want to be. When you keep your faith together, when you put your faith, ukiambiwa invest, munaambiwa invest na uanza kuinvest na 1,000. Shida yenu ni amutaki investment yako kwa kitu kadogo. Munaongea juu ya investment kubwa. Kipata kitu kama 100k. Mtu anipea kitu kama 200 zaitu nikakaa hivi. Kama kuna chokora wengine, I don't know whether you saw this on Churchill live some couple of years ago. There was this guy alikuwa anaambia mwingine, chokora hawa wanakuanga town. Mmoja anaambia mwingine, mimi najua by next year mimi nitanunua hii KICC. Hii KICC kutoka next year itakuwa yangu. Mimi ndio nitakuwa mwenyewe. Na huyu mwingine anamuuliza, nani amekuambia ninaiuza? Dreaming big. Chokora in the streets and talking of you are selling. But the other one is demeaning you. Nauzia nani na mimi ndio ninauza, utanunua kwa nani? Sijakwambia ninauza. Faith and believing in yourself. You have nothing, lakini unauza KICC. You have nothing na unanunua KICC. Start from where you are. Saa hii umemaliza shule, angalia opportunities ziko hapo kwenu. Hata unaweza Christmas uzia watu mandazi ama chapo. You know there are families that will not have that chapo. Wewe pika hizo chapo. Na uambie ni vile tu sina uwezo, ningewapea free. Lakini kwa sababu sina uwezo, kujeni tu na 10 mkichukuanga hizi chapo, ujione na 300 uone itafanya nini January. After that, create opportunities from where you are. You are a comedian. You now don't need a radio station to do your comedy. Enda tu kwa TikTok, jijaze huko with the proper information. Utajiona ukienda. Si huko Ndeia tumeona jamaa mwingine, I don't know him, but I've been following a guy called Bote. Bote does nothing. He's just a comedian and a funny one. Just a funny comedian. Anaongea tu vitu. Me, I follow Bote every day. I don't know him. Na sasa nimeona wale ambao wanajua Bote. Ameanza kupewa promotions na companies. Anawafanyia marketing. Na Mbote aliingia kwa TikTok akiongea kitu kimoja tu. Siku moja tu anaongea kitu kimoja tu. Anasema ati we mutumia Samido arori arathi Amerika. We uraga ugathie Javini. Tiaga kina ngofu. Atiaga ndunyu njeru we tutigithie Mucene. Story inaishia hapo, anakata. The next day Mbote is there with another story. Tigai gutinda mukinegena ati magoti ni marongereirwo mukuriha mumake mukuriha murihe na waigua ndukuriha Kenya no endio o mundu atinirio kenyo gake tuthi kuria turathi anakata. Today Mbote now is being used by, am I talking the truth? Wala watu wamefuata Mbote sasa anauzia watu mpaka mashamba. So when you put your faith, your conduct, your character is right, then you are able to do the small things and they start growing. Zinaanza kukua. Kwa TikTok tu, you only need a phone. Uanze kuongea vitu zenye unajiamini. Uanze kuenda na karakta yako. Uanze kujifunza kushuka nywele. Uanze kujifunza kupika. You possibly will learn from wale watu wamepika huko uzunguni. You borrow from YouTube. Unaanza kuzifundishana na Kikuyu. Ufundishe wa mama wa Kikuyu kutoweka chakula supu mingi. Unaanza kuwafundisha. Wanaanza kupunguza supu. Why not? You can create anything from anything. Si tunaambiwa kwa tunapenda supu. So unaweza kuja na idea wa mama wa Kikuyu punguzeni supu. And you create that. That's something that I've just thought about. Unaweza kuwa ni idea yako. Uanze kupunguza supu. Watu wakufuate kwa mama wa Kikuyu kutoka kuweka supu kwa sukuma wiki so that we grow together. And finally Paul is telling Timothy, be an example in purity. Utakatifu. Just be pure. Be that girl of integrity. Wacha kujifanya huyo msichana wa kila mahali. Kila mwanaume anapita everywhere uko. You are available. Hana inoro musio wotu ginotana. Available everywhere. And you know they say, all that is precious. Gold, silver, diamond is mined uko chini. Hizo vitu mzuri hutafutwa kwa gharama. Hizo cheap ones that are so available, tafadhali wachana nazo. Wewe bado ni msichana mdogo. You are in form 2. What is this stress? Ati ume break up na ex na uko form 2 na unaongea juu ya ma ex wawili. Uko form 3 unaongea juu ya ex watatu. Are you sick? Can you start styling up and know there is a time for everything? This is time for school. Watu wa kupendana wako huko mbele. Ati my ex na my ex ako form 3. Form 3 huyu trouser amevaa ni ya kupewa na wazazi. Kakoti ni kakupewa. Kakofia ni kakupewa. Kangodha ni kakupewa. Sasa huyu ndio unaambia ati ni ex. The ex hata anafaa kuwa x times 4. Because ni value gani anaongeza kwa maisha yako? The other unfortunate thing is about our boys. Wanaume tafadhali, I'm just about to put my motion in parliament, my bill in parliament very soon. Nataka kuwekelea ya the boys. Kwa sababu sasa nao boys wamekuwa na mashida. Wengine wanaitwa na tusichana. Young boys, I'm a director, I want to do about the minors. A 17-year boy sleeps with a 13-year-old girl, a 14 and a 15, a 16 and a 17, a 17 and a 13. Na ni tusichana saa ingine tunaitana. Tunaita boy child, tukikula chocolate, sausages, everything, kanaita uto to boys. So our law of sexual offense act inakuwa very unfair to the boy child, because what happens with these minors, the girl goes to school, the boy goes to prison. So I am telling our boy, and you look at a 17-year-old boy being taken to prison for 25 years because of sleeping with a 15-year-old girl or even an age mate. Then you ask yourself, why should we put a 17-year for 25 years for something he didn't even know it was a sin? Who even told them it is a sin? Hizo mambo atuongeagi nyumbani kwetu ama nyinyi mnaongeaga. Mnautamasha hizo tutiaragi. Our culture does not allow us to speak such things. So what we need to do is to remain, you young man, remain kaza tu mwili wako until you are with the right person. Usijiingize kwa mashida na hii serikali. Please jikaze tu, kaa na watu wenye mnaelewana lugha. Wacha kucheza na watu watusichana. There are people who are in business. and are following and looking for ways to put you down. Be pure. We are in a world that things are very dirty. Gadgets hizi, vitu zenye unatoa huku. Pornography, avoid them. They will destroy your future. Vitu za tabia mbaya. Tabia mbaya mbaya za homosexuality. Ati gayism. Mwanaume, unaambia mwanaume mwingine ati unampenda. Na unaanza kumuguza. Unaruhusu mwanaume mwingine akuguze aje. You know God is not an author of confusion. God created, ukiangalia mahali wasichana wamekaa. Look at all the places where women are. There are some bright colors. That is why God created women. To be bright everywhere. From where I stand. Look at all the bright colors wenye ziko. Na uangalie mahali wanaume wamekaa. Hata panakaa kagiza kidogo. Kama hapa. Look at here. Kana kagiza. Angalia pale wachungaji wamekaa hapana kagiza kidogo. Because even when we look at the hands of women, very soft. Zimewekwa hivi. Ndio mwanaume akiguza, anasikia ameguza kitu mzuri. Sasa unaenda kuguza mikono ya mwanaume na iko na mishipa huku. Inakaa kama ya miti. How? Hata kama sio masomo, the basic common sense. Magoti. Angalia magoti ya wamama. Very soft. Kitu nasema mali safi chito. Hey yawe. Mali safi chito. Hey yawe. Hey sweet. Mali safi chito. Director hajaelewa hiyo one. Minji lagwe. Hey yawe. Wacha ni kujifanya. Mali safi chito. Hey yawe. Hey sweet. Mali safi chito. Oh minji lagwe. Hey yawe. Sweet. Bas ndio hiyo. Magoti hiyo minji. Very soft. Alafu unaenda kutafutana na magoti ya wanaume. Inakaa kama shoka. Idhano aleke kodhana na idhano alele aleke. Ai hata nyinyi saa ingine vitu zingine hazingiagi kwa kichwa. So in purity let us be. So Paul tells Timothy, let no one look down on you, but be an example in number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, in the name of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.